So, greetings and welcome to another very special episode of Gluten-Free Alchemy. So tonight on the menu we have red Thai curry with mixed vegetables and instead of rice noodles, spaghetti squash. So, just to get started here, because they take the longest, and because I'm going to be talking and keeping you entertained while these do their thing, I'm going to just get the potatoes started. As you can see, I have a myriad of sort of delicious vegetables to chop for you, because I know you probably feel left out when you don't get to watch me do it, right? Because I know I've tried to pre-plan before, but it's like, maybe you want to see me chop vegetables, I don't know. Your feedback would be greatly appreciated. And these are just normal white potatoes, if you're curious. It's probably pretty obvious, but... and I'm just kind of cubing them, so a nice size. And I'm just going to pre-boil them so they're not like totally falling apart, but so they're fully cooked. Because we will be bringing the curry to a boil with all the vegetables, and they'll be cooking for an additional 5 to 10 minutes, so just keep that in mind when you're boiling your potatoes. I don't think I've actually chopped potatoes for you yet. This is exciting. Look how efficient I am, though. Like, you can tell this is not my first potato, I feel like. But yeah, this will be really exciting too, because normally when you think of Thai curries, you think really heavy and unhealthy and things like that. And today I'm going to kind of show you how you can take squash and things like that and transition them into spring dishes. And also we are going to be using, instead of like heavy coconut milk, we're going to be using the light version of coconut milk, but also just the unsweetened original thing. So you're actually getting the prebiotic and everything out of here rather than just like straight on fat. Always appreciated, right? So I'm going to take all of these taters here and dump them into a boiling pot. Alright, so we're going to start with the carrots again. This time though, I'm not going to put you through the misery of watching me try and piece them and chop them. I actually am just going to say what I said I would last time and grate them. And plus it looks more uh-oh. We already have a casualty. I don't know how this will work out. No, I've got this. I'm actually just going to cut it into a smaller. It's not really the look I was going for, but you know what? That's okay. So I don't really want it to be like super hard, because again, we're only cooking the vegetables for probably 5 minutes, and they'd still probably be pretty crunchy. Maybe that doesn't bother you though, and maybe you're like, that looks really messy. So if you are feeling that way right now, like I am, maybe just chop it normally. And this is how she lost her hand. Okay, I'm good though. I just keep on seeing it flash before my eyes like Alissatron, the one-handed chef, because this grater seems like such a problem to me. Oh, that's a lot. Wow. Okay. So messy. Oh yeah, let's not make the same mistake. I'm covered in like carrot gore right now. It's terrible. Have you ever seen the movie Fargo? It reminds me of kind of like the wood chipper scene. And dark, man. So dark. Oh man. I feel like I'm gonna need a rinse off after this. It's in my hair now. Rats. So, I'm just gonna scoop this in the... Oh, so I put snap peas in the bottom here because they don't need work, so they're actually my favorite vegetable today because I don't have to do anything with them, so that's awesome. Very carefully. Oh, well, making a mess, of course. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, I just get on my counter. Why not? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the celery. I feel like you've done this before, but you can still do this with me here. So I'm just going to dice the celery very finely here. Again, we're just going to bring everything to a light boil, so you want to make sure that it's all nice and very small. So you're probably wondering, why do a Thai curry right now, right? We actually, if you've been following us, we went to Kelowna last week, which is actually where I'm from. And my favorite restaurant of all time, like literally, my gateway meal to not having plain food, because growing up I was actually super picky with my food, was this really great Thai restaurant downtown in Kelowna. So we were going to go eat down there, but apparently they moved and then we missed them, so I've had this like crazy craving ever since for like delicious Thai food. So I decided rather than crying myself to sleep at night, I would just make some for you on the show here. And it also gives me an opportunity to kind of healthify it for you too, which is kind of, that's a bonus rather than me just getting fat from my favorite restaurant, right? Although that would have been awesome, but next time. But yeah, that Thai food totally was like my gateway meal to kind of exploring other flavors and, you know, realizing, okay, well, just because certain types of food don't appeal to me doesn't mean that, you know, all of these spices and beautiful things you can do with food will necessarily, you know, I wasn't doomed, essentially. It was great kind of having that realization. Because from there I started branching off into all kinds of like Japanese food and Vietnamese food, all delicious things. Thank you, Thai food, for being so good. Woo. Oh, the potatoes are boiling. So again, you just want to dice these nice and fine. Because you'll probably be cooking the curry for longer than you're actually cooking the vegetables, so keep that in mind. And if you don't care about like, being vegetarian either, by all means dice some cube chicken or beef or whatever pleases you in with your whole ordeal, but we're just doing veggies today. So, I'm really digging this too because you'll notice that we have like a nice variety of colors. So even though the red curry it'll pretty much hide everything anyways, but it's kind of nice to have that all poking out with your dish, just for presentation's sake too. So say you're making this for a dinner party or something like that. Having a wide variety of colors and sort of flavors in your dish is really, I don't know, to me it's something I like to do, even for not presentation, even if it's just presenting it to myself on the table. I'm like, no, I'm glad there's colors there. So definitely keep that in mind. Oh, hey. So, the potatoes boiled on their own, magically, and I managed, without your help, to chop the rest of the vegetables, so I hope you're proud of me for that. So I'm just going to go into detail a little bit before we get started on the stove here. So what I have here is, as I mentioned before, I have the Coconut Dream unsweetened coconut milk, and that'll be the majority of what I'm using. So again, I'm going to baffle you by measuring. I know, crazy, right? So I'm going to be using 1 cup of this and half a cup of this because I still do kind of want the creamy goodness of coconut milk, just not quite all of the fat with none of the health benefits. That just doesn't really please me. So I have that, and then I also have red curry paste. You can make your own too. It's mostly just a bunch of spices, hot peppers, and onion in the food processor. But since this brand is naturally gluten-free, for once it's kind of like, I'm just gonna give myself a shortcut here. So that's what this is, and it's just the Thai Kitchen brand red curry paste. It's actually really, really good. So I've had homemade stuff and I've had this and it tastes on par, so that's why I did that. And typically for Thai food, you're looking at using fish sauce, but being the vegetarian that I am, I also just can't get behind fish sauce. I'm sorry. Like, it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm vegetarian, but do I really want to host that in my fridge? Not really. So you can use 1-to-1 ratio of just soy sauce, tamari sauce, or miso sauce. But what I did, just because I didn't want to use any of those other things, is I just took a little bit of lemon juice, actually, a little bit of water, a clove of garlic, a little bit of ginger, and sea salt and pepper with chili flakes, and that's it. So that's what I'm using. And I also have a tablespoon of palm sugar. So that's just coconut sugar. You can also use agave as well. So let's get started. Oh, hey gang. So just to get the curry started here, you actually want to start with the coconut milk and the red curry paste mixture. So again, I am measuring out 1 cup exactly 1 cup. And I'm just going to turn this down to medium, low, if not low heat. And you're just going to bring it to a light simmer boil. So half a cup of this. Ooh, it's so creamy. Yeah, you don't want to skip out on this entirely, just, minimize. Then I'm just going to delve out approximately, sorry, again, not measuring, but 2 tablespoons is what you're looking for here. So what you're going to be doing is just crushing the curry paste into the coconut milk mixture. So as you see, it's just kind of blending up here. Just add a little bit more for that extra pop. turning that beautiful orange sort of pumpkin weird color. But again, that's what we want. That's what we're looking for. No worries. So still just waiting for that rolling boil here. I've just turned up the heat again to medium-low. And it's actually really neat using the spaghetti squash as well. Ooh, lost a fork. Okay, it's time to operate. What do I have? Yeah? Good, okay. I'm just gonna use this going forward, I think. Nicely done. All right, back on track. Oh, okay, so the spaghetti squash, as I was saying. It's really cool because there's actually nothing really nutritionally good for you in rice noodles. They are so delicious, don't get me wrong, like if I could I would eat them all day long, but nothing good for you in those. So spaghetti squash is a really nice alternative, and as I said, kind of bringing a spring feel to a fall dish, which is cool. And you just want to kind of keep on stirring it, especially if you don't have like a non-stick pan or something like that. The last thing you want to do is for your coconut milk to burn. That sounds horrible. Don't let that happen to you. So this is what it's going to look like. So just a light rolling boil. Don't actually let it get to like a full, like, extravagant boil. You just want it to, like, you know, it's just drizzling. So what you're gonna do now is just pour in your vegetables and the remaining ingredients. So my makeshift vegetarian fish sauce, sort of alternate here. I've also got half a cup of water and the tablespoon of palm sugar that I alluded to earlier. So you're just going to mix that all up again. Let it come back to that boil for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then after the vegetables are nice and softened, you're ready to serve it. Oh hey, so if you're like, what is spaghetti squash? Well, where have you been? Because it's delicious. So after you've been cooking it, and I think what I'll do too is I'll just make a quick tutorial one of these days too, just to show you how to make spaghetti squash, but I promise it's super easy. After you drain the water out, you're just gonna go at it with a fork. And it literally is super easy to do. Just kind of move that fork around, digging in through all of the squashy crevices here. And it makes noodles! How fucking, how convenient is that? Beautiful. Still waiting on the curry to boil, but at least now we have our noodles ready for harvest here. So, about 5 minutes has elapsed since we last met here. And as you can see, again, everything's at a boil. The snap peas are nice and puffed up, and as I'm kind of edging around the bowl, I'm noticing that the potatoes are fully cooked as well. So, all of this evidence alludes to the fact that we are ready to serve our dish.